यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानमधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्। ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाप्पा मोरया।
गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाप्पा मोरया।
ॐ गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाप्पा मोरया।
ॐ गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाप्पा मोरया।
ॐ गणपतये नमो नमः। श्री सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः। अष्टविनायक नमो नमः। गणपति बाप्पा मोरया।
जहाँ पाँव में पायल, हाथ में कंगन, हो माथे पे बिंदिया, पायल हाथ में कंगन, जहाँ पाँव में पायल हाथ में कंगन, जहाँ पाँव में पायल हाथ में कंगन, हो माथे पे बिंदिया। It happens only in India. It happens only in India. जहाँ पाँव में पायल हाथ में कंगन, हो माथे पे बिंदिया। It happens only in India.
A few of us met on a Sunday morning and we were thinking how from the temple we can take an initiative, we can initiate an activity that will address the social cause. We had kitchens which were not used on a daily basis, only used during festivals. So we thought that can we cook some food, take it to the school, government schools, where underprivileged families send their children to, and provide food there.
This Akshaya Patra program is not just a feeding program of children. It supports their education. See, normally people in this country, at least in the past decades, we've been considering our population to be a burden. But if these children have good food and they're educated, they turn out to be an asset for the country.
Manisha Gandhi for TV Asia here in Chicago today. Vandana Jingan is on vacation. Today, Akshaya Patra Gala here in Chicago. Tonight's event is honoring organization that is feeding 1.5 million children every day in India. CEO Emily Rosenbaum is here, keynote speaker Gopi Kalayal, and actor from Three Idiots, none other than Omi Vaidya, is in the house today as the MC. Once again, Manisha Gandhi for TV Asia here in Chicago today.
There we go.
Manisha Gandhi for TV Asia here in Chicago today with Omi Vaidya. He is the MC for Akshaya Patra Gala in Chicago. Omi, welcome to Chicago.
Thank you very much. It's really great to be here.
And Akshaya Patra, an organization that is committed to feeding children in India, and you've emceed their events before. What do you think about the organization?
Oh, they have great food here. No, I'm just joking. It's a wonderful organization. We're here, and I keep coming back every year to MC all of their events because I really believe in the cause. They feed hungry children and give them midday meals at school, and it adds to the attendance, it makes them smarter, and it reduces child labor. I mean, by one meal, which costs 12 cents a day, you can do these three things. How can I not, volunteer and help?
Thank you. And as far as your career, your role as Chatur in Three Idiots, probably most iconic of your career?
Absolutely. Very, very iconic. I mean, more people know me as Chatur than they do as Omi.
What are you looking forward to, and what are some of the projects in the works for you?
I have a film with Anupam Kher that I did in Bollywood, and then I'm producing some films here in the U.S., one of which is on the first Indian-American congressman. His name is Dalip Singh Sandh, and he came to power in the 50s before the civil rights movement, and he basically changed the immigration laws so that Indians and Asian and immigrants could come here. So he's an unknown hero and one of our first South Asian heroes. So I want to highlight a movie about him.
Wonderful. We look forward to seeing many things from you in the future.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Omi.
All right.
Manisha Gandhi for TV Asia. I'm with the CEO of Akshaya Patra USA, Emily Rosenbaum. Emily, Akshaya Patra does wonderful work all over the country in raising funds. And today we're in Chicago. What are you hoping for this evening?
Oh, I love this event, and the Chicago community is so giving and coming out and really embracing the organization and really helping us scale and get to reach more and more children every day in India. I love it.
Yes, and tell us a little bit about what's new in India with Akshaya Patra.
So, Manisha, you know that we're feeding 1.5 million children every day. And in India, we've just gotten approvals for many new kitchens. In fact, 8 new kitchens were approved by the state government of Uttar Pradesh. We're also building in Delhi. We're building in Hyderabad. We're pretty much expanding into every state to get to our goal of feeding 5 million children daily.
Wonderful. Congratulations, Emily.
Thank you.
Manisha Gandhi here for TV Asia in Chicago. Tonight, Akshaya Patra is having their annual gala. Akshaya Patra, an organization that is feeding 1.5 million children every day in India. The cost merely $15 for 1 year for one child. Tonight, CEO of Akshaya Patra, Emily Rosenbaum, keynote speaker Gopi Kalayal of Google, and Omi Vaidya from Three Idiots, famous Chatur, is here tonight, and we are going to be fundraising this evening for this wonderful cause and hoping for at least 250,000 from the Chicago community. It is a sold-out event with 400 people. Once again, Manisha Gandhi for TV Asia in Chicago.
I want to thank everyone to giving this opportunity to join in one of the event that take care the hungers. You know, it's about 17,000 kids die every day in starvation. And Akshaya Patra, the organization, feeding over 1.2 million people, billion people every month. So it's a wonderful job, and I'm so glad to be here from Federation of Indian Associations, Chicago, and we want to be a part of this from now on for their efforts. We want to join hands to support this kind of events who feeding 1.2 billion hungers. Like I said, about 17,000 people, kids die with this starvation. Thank you so much.
Good evening, Chicago. Welcome to our Akshaya Patra USA 2016 benefit event. My name is Emily Rosenbaum, and I'm CEO of Akshaya Patra USA, and you're going to be hearing from me in a little bit. But I'm actually privileged and honored to be here tonight with all of you and want to welcome all of our guests, our sponsors, our Mayor of the village of Burridge, Mickey Staub, is here. We have Ambassador and Mrs. Dr. Saeed are here. And we have Mr. and Mrs. Pranava Doctor. Just welcome, but welcome to all of you tonight. So I'm privileged to be able to introduce our MC for the evening, Mr. Omi Vaidya. Omi is the star of a movie that many of you have seen, probably all of you have seen, called The Three Idiots. Let's give a big hand for Omi. Omi has been acting for 23 years. He's been in The Office, Bones, Arrested Development, been there, done that. He's done all of it. But he told me to say that he's my favorite ambiguously ethnic or ethnically ambiguous actor. But actually, he's my favorite actor. So here's Omi.
Thank you. See you soon. Welcome, idiots. How's everyone doing tonight? It's good to see you all. You're all looking very, very beautiful in this very dim lighting. Okay, so yeah, let's talk a little bit about me first. My name is Omi Vaidya. If you don't know who I am, please leave. No, I'm joking. I'm an actor. I work in Hollywood and Bollywood. Bollywood, yes, that means that I can sing. Well, not sing, lip sing. I can dance, and most importantly, I can overact. I'm going to take this off because I don't like to be behind this. Oh, do we only have this light or can we move? Ah, there we go. That's nice. Yeah, so if you've never watched a Bollywood film, it's so loud. Is it just me or is it loud? Okay, great. If you haven't watched a Bollywood film, it's just like a Hollywood film, except completely different. All right? It's very easy to make a Bollywood film. Just take a Hollywood film and remove all the reason and logic because you're not going to need it. And then add some music videos randomly through the film. And you're going to need a script, of course. So use words like pyar, mohabbat, ishq, mujhe maaf karo ji, and you'll be fine. So a lot of the questions that I get as a Bollywood actor, the number one question I always get is, how do I get into Bollywood? And a lot of people want to get into Bollywood, and instead of telling them there's no chance, I tell them, it's you. Why don't you? I developed this app. We're in the tech industry, renaissance right now. So I developed an app called iBollywood Test, and it's a simple test that you can take, and it'll teach you if you can get into Bollywood or not. So I'm just going to take it right now, just to show you how easy it is. All right? All right, here we go. The first question is name. That's simple. It's a multiple choice. Khan, Kapoor, or Bachchan? Interesting. Okay. All right, moving on. Then I'm going to, it's acting talent. That's multiple choice. I'm going to put very good. Oh, it says optional. Interesting. All right, next is height. Height, very important. I'm going to put my height in. 5'8". And next question, actual height. Oh, you laugh on that one, huh, guys? 5'6". All right, last question is skin color. Very important, right? Very important. Last question, here we go, multiple choice. Light skinned, medium skinned, or exotic? I'm medium skinned, just so you know. All right, we're gonna put all the results in. You have a very slim chance of making it in Bollywood. So you're saying there's a chance. All right, well, anyway, some more things about me. I grew up in America. I was born here in Palm Springs, Los Angeles. And I had a very very traditional Indian, family structure, but outside I was an American. And I used to go to India every year and see, how Indians lived before the 92, before it became what it is now. And I saw how Indians were living and how these children had to struggle. And I was like, wow. And we used to take the buses and the trains. We never took taxis, And I really got that experience of what it was to be a real Indian, even though I grew up here. And I started to realize how lucky I was living in this country, And that's sort of what the theme is tonight, how amazing we have it and how much we can give back to the cause. And a couple more things. I mean, I'm quite a traditionalist. I actually had an arranged marriage. Yeah, it was arranged by my wife. But she came with a dowry though, which is pretty nice. Yeah, a dowry of $30,000. Yeah, in student debt. So a lot of us have dowries, I think. But we have been very lucky. I also have a child now, and it's my first son that I know of. And he's 10 months old. And, every time I look at him, he just started eating food, like solids. And I'm just it's crazy to think that what if this kid, my son, wasn't able to get food, Like, how would it hurt his growth and his intelligence and all of these things? And it's something that we don't even think about. But in India, these kids don't get that, And think of how much more they could achieve if they were able to get that. So that is really the reason that I'm here tonight, and I continue to support this wonderful organization. And before I go on, I would like to first call out our first performance, and let's get this wonderful gala started. Our first dance is from the students of Nrityan. Oh man, I'm so bad at this. Nrityanjan. Oh. Can you say it? There you go. Nrityanjanjali Performing Arts. The song Thodai Mangalam is a piece that invokes the praise of Lord Rama. And the students of Nrityanjali, there, I said it. Thank you. Nrityanjali performing this item are Meghna Sridhar, Sachi Kumar, Nisha Suresh, and Manasi Reddy. So please welcome onto the stage this wonderful Bharatnatyam performing group. I have been told that you'll all be amazed. Put your hands together for Nrityanjali.
शरणु सुरेन्द्र सन्नुत शरणु श्रीरति वल्लभ शरणु शरणु सुरेन्द्र सन्नुत शरणु श्रीरति वल्लभ शरणु राघव सुंदर शरणु वेंकटनायक स्वामी श्रीरघुनायक विजय वेंकटनायक शरणु 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 सुरेन्द्र सन्मुख शरणु श्री वल्लभ शरणु राघव सुंदर शरणु वेंकटनायक स्वामी श्रीरघुनायक विजय वेंकटनायक शरणु शरणु ಮುರಗರ ನಖದರ ಮುಕುಂದ ಮಾಧವ ಗರುಡ ಗಮನ ಪಂಕಜನಾಭ ಮುರಗರ ನಖದರ ಮುಕುಂದ ಮಾಧವ ಗರುಡ ಗಮನ ಪಂಕಜನಾಭ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಪವಭಂಜನ ಕೇಶವ ಮರಮಗ ಶರೀರವ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ದೇವ ನಾರದ ಸನ್ನುತ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ಮುರಧರ ನಗರ ಮುಕುಂದ ಮಾಧವ ಗರುಡ ಗಮನ ಪಂಕಜನಾಭ ಪರಮ ಪುರುಷ ಭವಭಂಜನ ಕೇಶವ ನರಮೃಗ ಶರೀರ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ದೇವ ನಾರದ ಸನ್ನುತ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ನಾರಾಯಣ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ದೇವ ನಾರದ ಸನ್ನುತ ನಮೋ ನಮೋ ದೇವೇಶ ಗಣರಾಜಿತ ದಿವ್ಯಾಂಬುಜಪಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟಗಿರಿ ನಾಯಕ ಶ್ರೀಶರಿಕಾರ ದೇವೇಶ ಗಣರಾಜಿತ ದಿವ್ಯಾಂಬುಜಪಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟಗಿರಿ ನಾಯಕ ಶ್ರೀಶರಿಕಾರ ದೇವೇಶ ಗಣರಾಜಿತ ದಿವ್ಯಾಂಬುಜಪಾದ ಶ್ರೀ ವೆಂಕಟಗಿರಿ ನಾಯಕ ಶ್ರೀಶರಿಕಾರ ಮಾಧವ ಭವತು ತೇ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಮಧು ಮುರಹರ ದೇ ಜಯ ಮಂಗಳೋ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಮಾಧವ ಭವತು ತೇ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಜಯ ಮಾಧವ ಭವತು ತೇ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಮಾಧೋ ಮುರ ಹರದೆ ಜಯ ಮಂಗಳೋ ಗೋಪಾಲ ಮಾಧವ ಭವತು ತೇ ಜಯ ಮಂಗಳಂ ಮಾಧವ ಭವತು ತೇ ಜಯ ಮಂಗಳೋ ಗೋಪಾಲ 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 जय जानकी रमण जय विभीषण
Good job, guys. You can hear them as they walk away. All right. We're going to move on. Next up, you just saw her for a little while, and she's coming back up, is our CEO, Emily Rosenbaum. Emily Rosenbaum is a great friend of mine, and she has been running Akshaya Patra for a couple years now, and she's done a fantastic job. She's not Indian, and she is amazing. She knows, she's so passionate about this organization because this organization is doing such great things for the world, and she can bring in so many more people into this organization than someone else, and I am so glad that she's doing this. She has been, for the last 30 years, she has been basically leading communities and nonprofits and doing a fantastic job, and we are grateful to have her as part of Akshaya Patra. So please welcome onto the stage, Emily Rosenbaum. Is that right?
You got it. You got it. So, you know, we're really here because of community and because of leaders, and all of you are the leaders of Chicago. So you brought yourselves, you brought your friends, and we're going to get to acknowledge many of you later in the program. But I just wanted to acknowledge that we're here because of you. And it's a rare moment, too, sometimes when other leaders in the world notice that something important is going on. So we had the pleasure in July 2014 of hosting President Bill Clinton in our Jaipur kitchen. And he did a great job, actually, explaining Akshaya Patra to the world when he spoke at a school, a small school event, just after the visit in the kitchen. So I'm going to let him explain Akshaya Patra to you. So I'll just summarize, but I'd love to show you the video a little bit later. President Clinton at the visit at the school said that it was the finest initiative that he had ever been part of in his 10 years of having these Clinton Global initiatives. And he was able to explain to the audience that essentially for $15 from a donor, we're able to feed a child for an entire school year and keep them coming to school. And this is a program that's been proven worldwide. The World Food Program has a lot of statistics on it that the enrollments at these type of schools double when the initiatives come. So we'll definitely show you that video, but I'm going to bring Omi back first.
All right, guys. All right. How are you all doing? Doing good? How were the appetizers? Were they yummy? Pretty good. All right. So we are going to continue onwards, and we have our keynote speaker. Yeah, the reason many of you came tonight. We have a great man named Gopi Kalayil. He's the chief evangelist and brand marketing at Google. Anyone heard of Google? Small company, Silicon Valley. They're coming up. He works with Google's sales team and customers and helps grow customer brands through digital marketing. Before joining Google, Gopi was on the management team of 2 Silicon Valley venture-funded startups, and he was a consultant at McKinsey. Sure. Seems like a pretty established guy. So let's welcome onto the stage Mr. Gopi Kalayil.
Namaste, good evening. So what's special about today? What is special about today? No. What are you celebrating today? Mother's Day. Well, I want to make sure that you remember this. And there's something special about that, in that that is probably the most universal of human celebrations. There are 7.1 billion estimated human beings on the planet, and across history, about 100 billion people who have lived on this planet. And we may look different, we may be from a variety of cultures and contexts, but the one unifying experience across these 100 billion people who've walked this planet, or the 7.1 billion people who live on the planet today, is the fact that we are all born, birthed, raised by a mother. And that is incredible and such a fundamental part of the human experience. And it's only fitting that Akshaya Patra Chicago Gala is being held on this day. So I want to start off by celebrating and honoring that very concept of motherhood and why it is so fundamental to Akshaya Patra's mission. So first of all, just to honor and celebrate, will all the mothers in the audience please stand up? Let's see who you are. Amazing. Keep standing, keep standing. I'm not done yet. I want the applause to die down. And I want to thank, on behalf of everyone else who's sitting, say thank you to each one of you, because you are the fundamental force that really moves the world. You know, the entire human condition would not have happened but for the energy or the life function you represent in the form of motherhood. So I want to say deeply thank you. Now for the rest of you who are sitting down, no, you stay standing. I'm not done yet. If you have a mother, anybody who's been raised by a mother, please also stand up, okay? If you were born to a mother, you were raised by a mother, stand up. Exactly, all of us. So I want the whole audience now, everyone standing, to actually express a thank you to all the mothers in this room, all the mothers in this world, the whole concept of motherhood, with a big round of applause. Thank you. Now you may please have a seat. Thank you very much for playing along. And with that, I'm also expressing a deep gratitude towards my own mother and my two sisters who are also mothers as well. So the connection between Mother's Day and Akshaya Patra is very simply this. Right after giving birth, one of the fundamental things that mothers do for their offspring is nutrition and education. Our first sustenance comes from our mothers, and our first learning of any life skill comes from our mothers. And that is so fundamental to the human existence, no matter where you are on the planet. And it is around those two pillars that Akshaya Patra's mission is also defined. It is nutrition for very young people at a time when they may not have access to proper nutrition, for communities that don't have access to it, and through that, give them a platform for education that gives them social mobility. Two fundamental things. And the reason why I'm so connected with this organization, and through my work at Google also, I've been working with Emily and the rest of the team and supporting this organization. Also, Google supports this organization, is that hunger is a fundamental, pervasive problem in our society that simply should not be allowed to happen. It is appalling that it is happening right now in front of us. So let me explain what I mean by that. Today, 895 million people, almost 900 million people, will experience hunger on this planet. Now, that is a very large number. What does 900 million people mean? That's 1 out of 9 people on the planet. So to put that in context, I'm going to ask you to play along one more time. Can one person stand up from each table as a volunteer? I want to put this in context. Okay, one person from every table, please stand up. One person from every table. Because I want to illustrate it. I don't have slides. I'm going to do it like human slides, okay? So if you're sitting at the table and you're looking at one person at your table standing up, I still don't have this table. Thank you. Yeah, please. So imagine this scenario. If after this program, all of us head out to have some amazing dinner outside, but the person standing is left behind. They have to stay standing. The rest of us have to go and the person standing is not allowed to partake in the food, how terrible would that be? That would be unacceptable to us. But this is what happens every single day. Not only that, there is enough food out there for the person standing. It isn't that we lack the food, but they're simply denied it for some reason. This is the situation with hunger every single day. Please have a seat. Okay. So the problem is, and what is stunning to us is we've made tremendous amount of progress in terms of technology, in terms of moving our societies forward. So for example, when it comes to technology, last February, we hit a unique inflection point in that there are 7.1 billion human beings, as I was saying, and it's estimated that now there are 7.2 billion of these devices, mobile technology, which means for the first time in history, there is more of these technologies than are human beings. This has become the most pervasive technology in human history. So that is fantastic that we've been able to advance so many aspects of our human life, including technology. But when it comes to food, like I said, one person at every table will starve every single night. And the problem is not a lack of food, because nature provides enough food to feed everyone. A typical human being needs 3 to 4 pounds, and we actually produce all the food that is needed. In fact, we even waste more food. So the problem is one of distribution. The problem is one of imagination. The problem is one of greed and price structures and tariffs and trade laws that is actually preventing from the food from reaching the people who need it. It is a complete failure of human imagination and innovation at that point. And it's unique to the human species. Unique to the human species. And Emily will come back later and talk to you about some of the numbers around it, the statistics around it. But just to give you an idea, it is startling that each of us needs 3 to 4 pounds. It's available out there. It's sitting at the table, but we are not allowed to go and eat it. That's the experience for 900 million people. An elephant needs 600 pounds every day. But you'll never see an elephant starving. In the wilds, every elephant gets whatever it needs to eat, it is fulfilled, and there is enough left for other elephants. So it is something peculiar about the human condition that creates this kind of problem, which is why I have this tremendous respect for Akshaya Patra in that they're using innovation, imagination to solve this problem. And that's why I feel the spirit of Akshaya Patra aligns so well with how Google works, operates, and thinks of innovation and imagination. So Emily and Manisha asked me to talk a little bit about imagination and the tie-in between how Google approaches innovation and how I see Akshaya Patra addressing this problem. So for both organizations, Google looks at huge, big problems out there and tries to see, can we use technology to imaginatively solve it and do amazing things with it? And the same with Akshaya Patra, approaching the issue of education and hunger. So I'll talk to you about a few of the principles of innovation at Google and show you the tie-in of how things are aligned with Akshaya Patra as well, and why every year we have a big program at Google that supports Akshaya Patra's programs as well. So a few of the principles, and this is where we'll go to the slides. Kristen, if you're ready with my slides. One of the first principles I want to talk about is this notion that innovation can come from anywhere. So we just advance to the first slide, Kristen. And here the idea is that in any group, any community, any organization, people have ideas, and you tap into those ideas, you can solve problems. So I'll show you the way it works at Google. Sometimes innovation can come from the top. So for example, the next slide, if you go, here is an example of how we think about innovation. And this is the idea that computing in the future will not look like rectangular devices is being a pet idea of one of our founders, Sergey Brin, and that drove this whole notion of Google Glass, for example. So let's watch a small demo of it if you go to the next slide. Can you have the sound, please?
Tap the touchpad to wake up Glass. You should see the display above your line of sight. Adjust it to see everything. The home screen shows a clock. This is your timeline. It's a row of cards. Things to the left are happening now or coming up, like the weather, an upcoming flight, or an event in your calendar. You can tap on any card to see more. Swipe down anywhere to go back to the timeline. Cards to the right of the home screen are from the past, for example, messages, videos, or photos. Tap on a photo to share it and choose one of your friends. Swipe down to go back to standby. And have fun exploring.
So this is an amazing product that the team built, and you might look at this and I will ask you a question. How long do you think it would take to build a prototype of a product like this, the first prototype? So I just want you to think of the answer, and I won't be able to hear you if you give me the answer. But typically when I ask an audience like this, they say 1 to 3 years, and that's very legitimate. But at Google, they follow a principle called rapid prototyping, and using rapid prototyping, the first version of Google Glass was developed by the engineers in 90 minutes. 90 minutes. So you might think, 90 minutes, what is possible? If you go to the next slide, I'll show you the first version of Google Glass that was developed. Right? So it's basically a pair of ski goggles with a regular laptop connected but in a backpack with a set of wires, using cameras, visors, etc. that you get from off-the-shelf components. So the idea is to do things quickly and move forward and learn from ideas coming from anywhere. But this looked pretty ugly. It weighed 3,500 grams. But very quickly they were able to prove what works, what does not. And then if you go to the next slide, you see many other versions. So they kept iterating, and within 6 months brought the weight down to 450 grams. And then another 6 months they went down to the version some of you may have played around, 75 grams, less than a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. So what is the connection between this and Akshaya Patra? Again, when I look at the way Akshaya Patra operates, they have this philosophy that anybody in the organization can innovate. And they take ideas from all over the organization. They try things quickly in the way, say, grain is boiled or chapatis are made, or try different vegetables, how to store, or now that they're doing some projects in Nepal. It's a constant try, experiment, iterate, that spirit of innovation that has allowed them to solve a problem at the scale at which they are doing it. Which then brings to the next big principle of innovation at Google, and very similar to how Akshaya Patra is approaching it, this notion, if you go to the next slide, a concept called Think 10x. So here the idea is that if you try to improve things by 10%, so let's say Saroj Patel comes and tells me, I want to get from here to New York, get me 10% faster, my solution will be a slightly better car. If she says, get me that 10 times faster, I have to think out of the box solutions. I have to think of concepts like aerial transportation or maybe hydroplaning on the water surface. So that is the notion of 10x, that try to make things 10 times faster, 10 times better, and that will allow you to innovate in a way that humanity has not imagined it. So for 10x innovation to work, much like Akshaya Patra, 3 things come together at Google. The first is some big problem out there we want to solve, a big problem. The second is some radical solution, so crazy that nobody has imagined it, can be wild, outrageous. And the third is some practical technology that then brings it to Earth. So big problem, radical solution, and practical technology. So let me give you an example. One of the problems we are trying to solve for, the big problem, is that most of the world still does not have access to the internet. Hard to believe, we don't think of it. We have gotten used to it like electricity or water, but 5 billion people in the world still do not have access to it. In fact, the economics prevents them from getting it. In the southern hemisphere, 80% of the countries, it costs 1 month's salary. None of us would have internet in the house if we had to pay a whole month's salary. So traditional solutions like we know of running a cable to your house or wireless solutions are not going to work in some South Pacific island or in Indonesia. And this is where 10x thinking has led us to the kind of experiments we are running with the next slide. This is a project called Project Loon, where we are floating these giant balloons in the sky, beam an internet signal, and that reflects the internet signal over a big 100-mile radius circle. And it uses natural power, natural forces, wind and solar energy to keep the project operational. The challenge here is the balloon is not going to stay in one place, it's going to float away. But using computational power and using weather data, we can predict how far it traveled And then using solar power, we raise or lower the balloon, catch another wind going in the opposite direction and make it go another 100 miles. So this way we keep the balloon within a 100-mile range, back and forth by lowering and raising it. So this is the kind of 10x thinking that allows us to experiment with a solution like this. It's called Project Loon for one more reason. Besides the fact that it makes use of balloons, even in Google's crazy standards, this is considered so lunatic that the engineers affectionately call it Project Loon, because it is a lunatic project to even think of something like this. But currently we are testing this in Indonesia after we finish some tests in New Zealand to see how can we bring internet connectivity to all of the world's population. So again, what is a parallel with Akshaya Patra? When Akshaya Patra set out to serve food in schools around northern India, one of the things they realized is that chapatis are, for example, a big part of the diet, and this is what the kids needed. But when you're trying to feed 500, 600, 700,000 kids, how do you make the older technology of rolling chapatis with pins is not going to work? So they applied 10x thinking, and using the idea of innovation can come from anywhere, rapid prototyping, they built a machine that stamps out 40,000 chapatis in an hour. Okay? They had to solve the problem. They came up with a creative 40,000 chapatis in an hour. Similar to, again, this kind of 10x thinking, they took a big problem, radical solution, and breakthrough technology, and they've addressed it. The third innovation principle I want to talk about is, again, that works well at Google, is this notion that we all have to rely on some unique, if you go to the next slide, unique technical insights, meaning every organization has a view of the world that nobody else has, because you deal with a particular situation. You deal with a set of customer problems, products, etc. So you approach issues in a way no one else can see. And it is betting on that kind of technical insight, unique to us, that led us to drive the next innovation that I want to talk about here. If you go to the next slide, Kristen. The self-driving car. Because people ask, how come it is Google who came up with the self-driving car? How it should have come from Detroit, it should have come from a German auto company. But that is because there is a unique way by which Google views the world, and that is we look at a physical space, digitize it, put it into a database, and once you have it in a database, we can give it to a car and make the car run forward. Very different from how a traditional auto company may look at. And it is that sort of betting on the unique intuition we have around our view of the world that led us to an innovation like this. So just to again give you a little flavor of what is it that eventually may be seen by the world, in the next small video I'll show you a gentleman called Steve Mahan taking this self-driving car on a test drive. He's blind.
Good morning, Steve. Hey, Nathaniel, how are you? Doing just great. Go ahead, Steve.
Auto driving.
Come on, no hands. No hands anywhere. No hands, no feet. No hands, no feet. Hey, anybody up for a taco? Yeah. What do you want to do today, Steve? I'm all for Taco Bell myself. All right, well, let's go get a taco at the drive-thru. Yeah, we're turning. 95% of my vision is gone. I'm well past legally blind. You lose your timing in life. Everything takes you much longer. There are some places that you cannot go. There are some things that you really cannot do. Where this would change my life is to give me the independence and the flexibility to go the places I both want to go and need to go when I need to do those things.
Thank you. So Steve is the president of the Santa Clara Blind Association who took the car on a test drive. So again, the connection with Akshaya Patra is when Akshaya Patra approached this whole problem of hunger in schools in India, they said we have to come up with unique solutions that will work, can only be crafted in the unique Indian setting. So they've solved problems in a way that we couldn't have learned, or they couldn't have learned from, say, the world food program because there are some cultural and other contexts that are peculiar to the Indian setting, food distribution or availability of electricity, refrigeration, etc., that using their unique view of food and food production and food manufacturing, they've solved a problem like no other part of the world has. And that's how they were willing to trust their intuition and go forward. The final principle of innovation that, again, I find a commonality between Google and Akshaya Patra is this notion of default to open. So let me explain that if you go to the next slide. The concept here of default to open is the acceptance, the humility with which we can say that the smartest people who can help us solve a particular problem may not even be in our organization. That we have to reach outside to tap into creative horsepower or imagination in order to solve a big problem. We can't do it by ourselves. So this is the approach Google often has to take. So for example, one of the big problems we're trying to solve, the 10x problem we're trying to solve, is how to create a comprehensive view of the entire Earth and give it to all of humanity. Because geographical information is useful. As much as a fire engine driver in Washington or Chicago needs to know every single turn or every single street, so does a milkman in Kenya or India. Can we give it for free, that kind of geographic information, so they can find the way around? This is what we're trying to solve with Google Maps, to make it free, to make it available on phones, even make it available so that it works when you don't have an internet connection, as many parts of the world are with offline maps. The problem with trying to solve this problem at this scale is the Earth does not stay still. Rivers change directions, buildings go up, buildings come down, street names change. How do you stay on top of all of this information? It's impossible. Every day the maps team thinks it has solved the problem. The next day the map is again outdated because something has changed in some part of the world. So a few years ago, a team of engineers in Google India decided to throw the map open. They said, we can't keep up with it. Let's make the map freely available for anybody to update if they know a new piece of information, particularly in places like India or in say, the Caribbean or in Pakistan. Only the people living there might know the street name. It's not even recorded anyway. You can't even find it on a map. So we threw the map open. So I'll show you how it works in practice in the next slide. So this is a town called Kottayam I'm going to take it to. And it's where Biju, our AV person, I think his family is from close by. My parents live about 2 hours from Kottayam, Alapi, that area. When we first got the map, anybody from Kottayam or that part of the world here? We should have a few in the audience. Nobody? Not one person? 80% Gujarati is what Manisha says? Okay. Normally I would have expected somebody, okay, maybe I should have gone to Dubai and asked this question. And I got a different answer. They're all in Dubai. So in the town of Kottayam, when we got the map, the only state-provided map showed the 3 major national highways meeting at the Kottayam railway station. And at that point, we take that map, put it on Google Maps, and throw it open for the residents of Kottayam to update. So in the next video, in a minute, I'll show you the dates go by, the map is getting updated as each month passes by the town residents. So as you can see, 3 years passed by and there's so much of richness in the map, completely taken over by the residents of Kottayam. So this is how defaulting to open, by tapping into the creative energy existing outside of your organization, helps. And where Akshaya Patra, whether it's fundraising or other kinds of solving the kind of problems they're dealing with, they work both inside and outside the organization and have the humility to accept that we can't do it. We have to collaborate with so many other groups outside of us in order for things to move forward. It's commendable that they have such a progressive view of building that organization. I want to close out with the last point I want to make. Again, when you're trying to innovate or solve problems at the scale at which Akshaya Patra is doing, a core principle that we have at Google that also shared by Akshaya Patra, and pretty much there are so many volunteers here who work for the organization. This notion, if you go to the next slide, Kristen, of having a mission that matters. You know, does your life matter? Are you working on something that is deeply meaningful? And at Google, we are all driven by this concept, if you go to the next slide, Kristen. This notion that the work we do is important because it actually is a force for change. All of the technologies we're building has a profound impact on millions of people and improves their life and makes it better. No different from how Emily or Manisha or Piali or anyone else or Kirsten who have dedicated themselves to Akshaya Patra, or Mohandas Pai who started the organization, think about it. That having that sense of a mission that we can touch the lives of 1.5 million children every day, get food in front of them that nourishes the body so that they can continue to stay with education. So this sense of a mission that matters is supremely important. The interesting thing I've noticed at a place like Google is everybody has their own version of it. So given that it's Mother's Day, I'm actually going to go back and tell you a story about my family, honoring my mother and grandmother and my lineage, and how that gives me a sense of mission that wants me to come back every single day and work at a place like Google and drive innovation and support the kind of work that Akshaya Patra is doing. So for this, if you go to the next slide, I'm going to tell you a story that is actually set in a small village in southern India and Kerala called Chittalanjeri. And this village has a very special place in my heart. This is my home village. It is in this village that my grandparents grew, tilling a piece of land. They were rice farmers, poor rice farmers, not much bigger than this whole auditorium. So they were subsistence farmers. And it is in the same village that my parents grew up as the children of these rice farmers with a very modest kind of life. So they lived in the village. They didn't have electricity growing up. They didn't have running water, and they don't have a college education. The only education they had access to was 10 years of schooling in a rural Indian village school. Very modest at best. But for my mother and my grandmother and my father and my grandfather, they had aspirations like all of the mothers that stood up here today have for your children, which is we want our children to study and come up. But with a modest life, they had only limited set of resources they could have support us with. But with that limited encouragement, with whatever access they were able to give, their 4 kids, that is me and my 3 siblings, went on to get 10 college degrees, including 2 from US Ivy League business schools, even though my parents had never set foot in America. So what caused that kind of social mobility in one generation? I would say 2 things. The first was, definitely there was nutrition. That was not a problem because because of the fact that we were growing up in a place like Kerala, at least we were in a fertile place. The family is a farming family, so there was rice and bananas and coconuts and milk from the one cow that my grandmother had. So nutrition got taken care of, and I don't know what sort of life trajectory a family would have had if we didn't have access to that basic nutrition, healthy nutrition. In addition to that, we had access to education, and it was not top quality education. Is not like going to private schools. It was simple government schools. But thankfully, where I was growing up in Kerala, they have a high quality of education, almost 100% literacy. So the modest teachers who were teaching us in, say, the Kendriya Vidyalaya in Kozhikode, where I went to high school, taught us as best as they could. And along with it, we had access to information that opened up the world for us. But it's very slow kind of access and very limited kind of access. This is where I'm talking about pre-internet. So for example, in my entire school of 1,500 people, there's one newspaper for the whole school that we all shared and read, one newspaper. We would get the Hindu. But that was my portal to understand the world. So with that single newspaper, now I was sitting there thinking about the kind of things I remember from my school days. I knew what was going on in the world. That was my internet. That was my one connection. That was my YouTube. And through that, I knew back then that, for example, I still remember these details, that Archbishop Macarius has been overthrown in Cyprus, or that Pierre Trudeau had been elected as Prime Minister of Canada through the portals of this one single newspaper. But it was some access to information. And then when I decided to apply to graduate school, I took an 8-hour train journey to Chennai so that I could look at a physical copy of the US World News Guide to Graduate Schools. So it is nutrition, education, access to information that really propelled the family forward. But now when I go back to the village. As I was there in December, we had a ceremony in our personal family temple, and I looked at the school where my mother studied. Infrastructure-wise, it had not changed a whole lot, but something had changed in that village, and something is changing in villages like that all over the world. 10s, 20,000 villages, you can repeat the story. Not just in India, this could be in Ghana, it could be in Siberia, it could be in Oakland, in California. If you go to the next picture, kids with access to computing technology and internet now have access to the same amount of information as somebody who's studying at the University of Chicago. In an era where information is like oxygen, we are leveling the playing field for humanity. And that is my personal sense of mission as to why 10 years later I'm still going every day at Google saying I want to innovate, because this is the kind of impact we have. And this is where, when I tied back in my conversations with Mohandas or with Sridhar, the founder of the current CEO of Akshaya Patra, or Manisha or Emily, etc., their sense of mission around that we can have an impact around young hearts and minds through good quality nutrition is so very powerful that they're unstoppable. And they are now currently serving 1.5 million, and soon their target is to get up to 5 million meals every single day at 12 cents per meal. That is stunning, unheard of. That is 10x problem solving. So to each one of you here, if you are a volunteer, you've been supporting the organization, I want to say thank you, because you already have adopted that deep sense of a mission that matters. And you can close the slide, Kristen. And for everyone else who actually took the time to be here and support this, even for this one night, my deepest sense of gratitude, because just by taking that one small step, what you are really saying is, I am supporting or adopting this mission. It's a mission that matters. It's a mission that is important to humankind. And it is my hope that through this kind of work, through organizations like Akshaya Patra, one day we'll be able to say throughout the world that that ninth person who stood up at the table is no longer left behind, that they can join the buffet as well. Thank you.
One more big round of applause for Gopi Kalayil. Gopi has written an international published book called Internet to the Internet, which is about how we deal with technology every day, and then how we balance that with our inner technology, which is our mind, soul, and body. And that book is being sold outside, and all profits, thank you, Mr. Gopi, are going to Akshaya Patra. So please get a copy of that book outside as well. All right? Excellent. And Gopi, I just want to say that I'm just amazed by all of this wonderful technology, but I work in Bombay, and I don't want a self-driving car in Bombay. You know, I just don't, because who is going to yell at the self-driving rickshaw that's trying to cut in front of me? You know? Nobody. But before we move on, I just wanted to lighten the mood a little bit and tell you a nice Bollywood story. You guys want to hear some Bollywood gossip? Oh yeah, everybody wants to hear that. So how many of you watched my film 3 Idiots? Oh yeah, awesome. And how many of you watched my film Players? Yeah, it did really well on DVD because nobody watched it in the theater. Thanks a lot, guys. It was a film I did with Abhishek Bachchan, and he's married to Aishwarya Rai. You know Aishwarya, one of the most beautiful women in the world. So this film is a remake of The Italian Job, so you guys can watch it if you'd like. It's not as good, but you can watch it. So we shot this in New Zealand, and Aishwarya Rai, it was Abhishek Bachchan's birthday. So Aishwarya Rai flies down to New Zealand to wish him for his birthday. And you know, typically everybody knows who these wonderful, major stars are. But I grew up in America. I watched maybe 5 or 6 Bollywood films as a child. I'm a Marathi guy, so I watched Maharashtrian films. So I wasn't, I wasn't sort of starstruck, and I just treat everyone the same, whether they're big shots or they're small people, and so most of them like that. They're very happy, actually. It's refreshing, because otherwise they get someone that's like, oh, hello sir, so great to meet you, I've watched all your film. But here's a guy that's like, hey, what's up, how's it going, anyway, and let me go do what I'm doing. So most of them like that and they appreciate that. But Aishwarya Rai was a little bit taken aback, because everybody's coming up to her, but this one guy is just staying away. So we're out, going out, and we're having a lot of fun, and I think we were at some bar, and Aishwarya Rai, she comes up to me and she goes, so you haven't seen any of my films? And that's quite a loaded question, and I didn't know what to do. I just said, no, I haven't seen any of your films, I'm so sorry. But that was a lie. I had seen one of her films. I had seen the Pink Panther 2. But I wasn't going to tell her. Anyway, we have to move on. I have many more stories, but we do have to move on. We have another dance performance. This is by the Nartan Academy of Dance. Nartan Academy of Dance was established in 1985, shortly after its founder and artistic director immigrated to the Chicago area. It started as a school for Bharatnatyam, style of Indian classical dance, with 10 students. And over the past 24 years, it has grown to over 100 students learning Bharatnatyam at Nartan. So please welcome onto the stage, Nartan.
Brahmasmi Aham Brahmasmi Aham Brahmasmi
मुझ में शिव है, मुझ में ब्रह्मा, मुझ में विष्णु, मुझ में कृष्णा, फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं? धरती अंबर पर्वत सागर, जित देखूं उसको पाऊं। फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं?
मुझ में शिव है, मुझ में ब्रह्मा, मुझ में विष्णु, मुझ में कृष्णा,
फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं? धरती अंबर पर्वत सागर, मैं जित देखूं उसको पाऊं। फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं? ये सृष्टि उसका सपना, हर व्यक्ति उसका अपना। ये सृष्टि उसका सपना, हर व्यक्ति उसका अपना। भगवान को जो पाना है, प्रेम की ही माला जपना। सांस सांस हर धड़कन धड़कन प्रेम गीत ही गाता जाऊं। फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं? तेरे नाना तेरे नाना
राधा तोड़े हर पहरा हो शंकर बंसी का लहरा राधा तोड़े हर पहरा जमुना जी के पार चली रोके लाख भंवर गहरा राधा ने जो रूप लिया आज वो अपना फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं
मुझ में शिव है, मुझ में ब्रह्मा, मुझ में विष्णु, मुझ में कृष्णा।
फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं धरती गंबर पर्वत सागर मैं जित देखूं उसको पाऊं फिर मैं काहे मंदिर जाऊं
ब्रह्मास्मि अहं ब्रह्मास्मि अहं ब्रह्मास्मि अहं ब्रह्मास्मि
efficiently. There's a lot of questions I'm sure you have. And to answer those questions, I would like to bring up, once again, our CEO, Emily Rosenbaum.
So I'm really excited to tell you this story and tell you about this organization that I represent, but I'm very proud of. And it's a great thing to know that it's an organization I started to donate to about 5 years ago because it actually halts the status quo that's so damaging to children that they would be dropping out in order to work and feed themselves rather than going to school. This is actually one of the shots of President Clinton at the school that I was telling you about. And with India facing challenges like 200 million people who are hungry, with India also facing challenges of 3,000 children dying every day from poor diet, with India facing the largest population of illiterate people in the world, and with 270 million people below the poverty line, it would take a very large, very innovative organization to try to figure this out. And that's exactly what Akshaya Patra has done. Now, we didn't start out this way. The challenge was there. 30% of the world's malnourished children live in India, and children have been dropping out of school in order to support themselves and their families, going to work. We know that approximately 60 million child laborers work today in India, but having the meal at school, we also know that that's a very simple, effective solution that gives the children access to education. And we have statistics worldwide that show that school feeding programs double enrollment within a year and produce at least a 40% increase in academic performance. We also know that this is a program that the government of India supports, so there's public and private resources here. So where's the innovation? The innovation that Gopi was talking about is having a factory that can actually deliver that food and get it to the children hot, fresh, safe, every single day. How do you mass produce, if you're going to feed 1.5 million people a day? That's the size of Phoenix, Arizona. How do you produce those meals and get them out fresh and hot? And so that's what we call our factories, factories with a heart. And we did start out in a very small pilot in Bangalore, serving just 1,500 children in 5 schools. But when our founders discovered that this could be done at scale and started to get invitations to solve the problem at capacity and started to get donors who said, no, you should really come to my locality, such as Sudhamurti inviting us to Hubli, where we now have our largest kitchen, serving 185,000 meals a day, and a model that can replicate using government resources as a leverage and strong governance. So I want to show you, Krista, if you can roll the roti video. Gopi was talking about this roti machine, and not only is it now producing 40,000 rotis an hour, when at the beginning they had to figure out, how is this going to be done in North India? We were serving children in South India. How are we going to do this? We can't have thousands of women come in the kitchen every day and roll out rotis. So they started, and they were able to figure out to get a machine that should have done about 1,000 rotis an hour to do 10,000. But that still wasn't enough, because if you're serving 150,000 children, they're each going to eat 3. We need 400,000, and we need it in 5 hours. And so after a while, the kitchen and the processes became more efficient, and the design was made such that 40,000 rotis could be done in an hour. But no, they weren't satisfied. We can do better. And so now the machine produces 60,000 chapatis in an hour. And at the end, you're going to see the women sprinkling on the ghee at the end. Now we have automatic sprinklers. So what we take seriously is innovation. What we take seriously is the mechanization, that in order to solve a problem at scale, in a situation where innovation needs to happen, we need to bring the technology. So our kitchens themselves are mechanized, they're controlled, they're ISO 22000 certified, and this gives you a little bit of idea of the flow, the gravity flow of the kitchen. We have customized vans for distribution and GPS tracking on all the vans. Supporters can even put their logos on the vans. And we were able to get the food out within a 45-kilometer radius from the kitchen. We have 5,800 employees spread over these 24 locations in India, and women make up 40% of the workforce. And I just wanted to show you this great photo of mine from Vrindavan with the women who cut the vegetables, and they come in the morning while their children are going to school, by the way, which is another great story of mothers driving this initiative. And I said to them when I first met them, what are your dreams? What do you enjoy? What do you like about your work? And they just gave me these wonderful smiles, and they said, we love everything. Our children are at school, and we have jobs. We just want matching saris. That was the pride and the ownership. They wanted to really be Akshaya Patra by having those matching saris. Our nutrition is designed by experts, and in fact, it was the University of Illinois Urbana campus that helped us design the nutrition to get all of the antioxidants, all of the micro and the minerals and the health factors that children need. And so nutrition is very important. The palate is very important. Food isn't charity. Food is food. Food is what we need to sustain ourselves. And so when we're in North India, we need to feed the diet of North India. When we're in South India, we feed the diet of South India. And these are just some real statistics about the kitchens and how we have the ISO 22000 certification. There's 250 checkpoints in every kitchen because of that. There are monthly health checkups, Kaizen, 5S, central procurement, all of these systems in place to make use of the technology and make sure that we can deliver a meal for 12 cents, $15 per child for the entire year is the donor's contribution to that. So here in the US, we're engaging a lot of leaders. We have chapters such as Chicago, chapters all over the country, new and emerging chapters, grassroots events. Our youth are very active. In fact, last year, over 50 young people, and some of them are here today, raised over $100,000 collectively for midday meals. So I think that's worth an applause. Very excited. This summer, we're planning a service trip to India with some of our youth, so please take a look in your brochure about that and give us a call. And we're going to be expanding our curriculum and going down and reaching into the younger grades and educating them as well about social entrepreneurship and Akshaya Patra. So I'm actually developing a school curriculum and love to have you check off on your pledge card if you're interested in getting involved in one of these initiatives. So we need support and we need involvement, and this is how we grow. Many of our awards are listed here, but we have too many to mention. There are over 60 awards we've won in the last 15 years, and one of the ones that I'm most proud of is the Gold Shield Award by the Indian Chart of Accountants, and they give this award for excellence in financial reporting. We've also won the awards from the South Asian Federation of Accountants, and we're the only NGO in history to be in the Hall of Fame, meaning that we've won this award for 5 years running. So the financial transparency is there, and everything that you need to know about us is there online in our financial reports. The government subsidy goes a long way, and then the subsidy and the donations from the donors go a long way. So for each meal, the government subsidy is about 4 rupees, and the cost incurred about 7.4. So we're raising about 3 rupees per child for each meal. We keep the costs very low. This is our fundraising and communications budget. In India, it's only 4%. And if you add the USA budget of fundraising and communications to that, it still comes to 6%. So you know that we're doing this through all of you as volunteers, and that's how we're keeping our costs low. So I wanted to tell you a very proud moment recently in April was when our founder, Madhu Pandit Dasa, won the Padma Shri Award for his service to the children of India. So I also want to show you a beautiful video, and this did come from the time when Clinton visited. So if Krista, you could play the video. There's 3 children, and I think they do a much better job telling their story themselves. So I'd like to have you hear from the 3 children from Jaipur.
मुझे स्कूल में पौष्टिक खाना मिलता है, इस वजह से मैं स्कूल जाती हूँ और मुझे खाने के साथ साथ पढ़ाई का भी असर मिल जाता है इस वजह से। नहीं तो मेरी मम्मी मुझे स्कूल जाने की परमिशन नहीं मिल पाती। मम्मी ने तो कह दिया था कि अब काम करो, क्या करना है तुम्हें पढ़ के, खाने की वजह से। मैं एक NGO खोलना चाहती हूँ। और आप क्या करना चाहते हो? मैं NGO खोल के मैं ये चाहूँगी जो मतलब गरीब है उनकी सहायता करे, मतलब जिनको खाना नहीं पहुँच पा रहे उनको भी करे। मैं मतलब जो भी जैसे मेरी स्थिति अभी जो मैं बड़ी NGO बन जाऊँगी तो मैं उनके अच्छे से हेल्प कर पाऊँ। तो पहले आप अपने आप को चेंज करना चाहूँगी? मैं अपने खुद को चेंज करूँगी, अपनी फैमिली को चेंज करूँगी, फिर बाद में समाज को चेंज करके फिर
अगर हम पुलिस बनना चाहते हैं तो हमें पढ़ाई में बहुत ध्यान लगाना पड़ेगा। और कई स्कूलों में तो ऐसा होता है कि जो हम जाते हैं स्कूलों में तो वहाँ पे खाना नहीं मिलता है, लेकिन हमने देखा है यहाँ पे स्कूल में कि हमें हम जो सरकारी मतलब कि प्राइवेट में पढ़े तो हमें प्राइवेट में ना हमारे सर वगैरह ओनली और फॉर प्रार्थना करवा के और भेज देते हैं क्लासेस रूम में। लेकिन हमारे जो यहाँ है हमारी जो हम सरकारी स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं इसमें हमें आधा घंटा तो प्रार्थना के लिए दिया जाता है और आधा घंटा हमें हमारी मैडम ज्ञान देती है, जिससे हमें बहुत ज्ञान मिलता है और हमारी बुद्धि भी बहुत तेज चलती है। और कई जगह यस मैम, हमारे भोजन से हम भोजन खाने से हम घर का भोजन खाते हैं हम मतलब कि घर की सब्जियां खाते हैं उससे तो हमें बहुत बीमारियां होती है, क्योंकि वो गंदी गंदी जगहों में पैदा हो जाती है और उसे तोड़कर लोग बाग धोकर बेच देते हैं। और लेकिन जो हमारे अक्षय पात्र में जो खाना आता है वो चेकिंग होकर और फिर हमारी स्कूलों में जाता है।
मुझे स्कूल जाना इसलिए पसंद है क्योंकि मैं बड़े होकर डॉक्टर बनना चाहती हूँ और मैं चाहती हूँ कि इंडिया में या किसी भी देश में किसी को भी डॉक्टर के पास जाने की ज़रूरत ना पड़े, हर एक इंसान अब स्वस्थ रहे। मुझे स्कूल में पढ़ना बहुत पसंद है और जो हमारे स्कूल में मिड डे मील आता है, पहली बात मैं मिड डे मील की वजह से स्कूल आती हूँ। मेरे पापा पहले मुझे बोल चुके थे कि मैं पढ़ नहीं सकती क्योंकि मेरे घर की हालत ऐसी है, मैं पढ़ लिख नहीं सकती, मैं सिर्फ घर में काम कर मतलब मेरे पापा ने मुझे ये कहा कि आप पढ़ लिख नहीं सकते, घर में काम करो आप। तो हमारे घर के आसपास जो जाते हैं वो गवर्नमेंट स्कूल में जाती थी लड़कियां, तो वो बोलती थी कि हमारे स्कूल में खाना आता है मिड डे मील। तो मेरे पापा ने बोला कि आप भी जाओ स्कूल, क्योंकि हमारे एक टाइम के खाने की बचत हो सकती है। और मेरे जो 2 भाई बहन और हैं उन्हें भी मेरे पापा ने स्कूल में डाला है और वो भी मिड डे मील खाते हैं, डेली खाते हैं और वो भी मेरे जैसे हेल्थी है। और मैं ये चाहती हूँ कि हमारे साथ जो भी छात्राएं हैं और जो गढ़ियाल लुहार इनकी भी जो लड़कियां हैं या लड़के हैं, मैं चाहती हूँ कि ये भी आगे जाके पढ़ें लिखें और हमारे इंडिया का नाम रोशन करें। और मैं चाहती हूँ कि मिड डे मील जो सरकार या हमें दे रहे हैं उनके लिए थैंक्स कि हमें इतना कुछ आप लाभ दे रहे हैं।
And they had to draw straws. There was no food. And so one unlucky guy, they had to draw straws between who was going to eat and who was going to be eaten. And they actually drew the straws. So I was thinking to myself on that plane ride, that's the only situation, a shipwreck, where we would really have to do something like this, like draw straws for food, because as Gopi was saying, there's actually 4.3 pounds of food worldwide for every man, woman, and child, and we really only need about 3 pounds of food. And so food is really abundant. And so I have these straws. I was thinking the same thing that Gopi was, would we ever pass out straws like this? He had you stand. Or would we ever pass out straws now to say, okay, who gets the meal and who has to stay back? But actually, there are children out there who have drawn that straw, that short straw. And I just think, I don't understand. But what does it mean? Because we live in a society where we adore food, we cook it, we cultivate it, we acquire it, we demonstrate our reverence for food by how we talk about it, how we think about it. But what would the world be like if we treated food differently and really tried to take away the short straws? So, I want to think about that. It is difficult to make change, but our founders, and Madhu Pandit Dasa, who just won this award in India, gave us a really simple solution because it's only $15. It's only $15 to take away that short straw for a child for a year and make sure that they can get hot food and education at the same time. So many of you are already our volunteers and our activists, and you're advocating for us. You can have a party to spread the message. You can be sower of seeds. You can use your brain. You can join the chapter that way and help us do things better and faster and easier. And with your heart, you can help us collect and throw away all those short straws. Just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a Jewish American, and last week we ended our festival of Passover, where as Jews we recall and retell the story of the transformation of our people from collective enslavement to collective liberation. So each year and every Passover we tell and retell that story. And I always know when I get to my favorite part of the story. At the end of the story, we collectively say, next year in Jerusalem, and then we're not talking about the literal Jerusalem, but we're talking about the place of our liberation. So next year, may we all be free. And that's the place where I am, as a mother, as a donor, and as someone who wants to collect the short straws. I can't imagine being a mother of a child that I couldn't feed at night. And I know that many of you don't want to live in that world either. So I ask you today to just please use your mind, your body, your brain, your voice, your spirit, and your wallet. With all those things, we're going to collect and throw away the short straws. And I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being here today, and want to thank you for helping spread the love and spread the peace, and may you go from strength to strength. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily, for giving us the opportunity to be a part of this wonderful organization and to give. And before we get to the pledge drive, I wanted to welcome up someone you guys probably know, Manisha Gandhi. She's the Director of Development and also a TV correspondent for TV Asia. So can you please come to the stage, Manisha Gandhi.
What was that? What was that? Good evening, Chicago. Yes, most of you I've spoke to or called and asked for pledges. Thank you for being here. It's a sold-out gala. Give yourselves a hand. Over 400 people here tonight. The crowd is a little quieter than I'm used to, but it's okay. Just wanted to tell you that I've been part of Akshaya Patra since year and a half now, and I couldn't be more prouder of being part of an organization that is dedicated to eradicating hunger. I want to see an India that is hunger-free, educated, with the vision of Akshaya Patra. So thank you for being here. Now we're going to play a video. This is a dedication to all the mothers in the audience. Gopi had addressed this issue earlier, and the dedication of mothers. As they say, God couldn't be everywhere, so that's why he sent Mother on this planet. So congratulations to all of you moms for being here. And Mother is a love that is unselfish, and it is unconditional. And I read a quote that said, I believe in love at first sight because I love my mother ever since I opened my eyes. Here's a small video of mothers of Akshaya Patra who make this wonderful meal for these children who cannot, the mothers who make these wonderful meals, and they get up in the morning and are dedicated to feeding these children. Small video.
So many mothers goes into making our food, it is bound to taste. That's why millions of school children look forward to Akshaya Patra's meal every day. Please donate.
So once again, mothers who feed us, who take care of us, wake up in the middle of the night for us. And so this next section is we have collages of people in the audience, our families, mothers with their children from all over the world. This is a dedication from us to all the mothers. A song. I was supposed to have an accompanying artist here, but they're not here, so I'm just going to sing this song from movie Raja Aur Rang and dedicate it to the mothers, all in the audience, my own mother, my sisters, and my children. I wouldn't be the mother I am today if it wasn't for them also. So enjoy. Tu kitni achhi hai, tu kitni bholi hai, प्यारी प्यारी है ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ। ये जो दुनिया है ये बन है कांटों का, तू फुलवारी रे ओ माँ, ओ माँ, अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई, अपना नहीं तुझे सुख दुख कोई, मैं मुस्काया तू मुस्काई, मैं रोया तू रोई, मेरे हंसने पे ओ मेरे रोने पे तू बलिहारी रे ओ माँ, किस्मत वाले जिनकी माँ होती है, जो होते हैं किस्मत वाले इनकी माँ होती है। कितनी सुंदर है तो कितनी शीतल है, न्यारी न्यारी रे ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ, ओ माँ। Thank you. We have a video, small video about Akshaya Patra, and then we'll go into the pledge drive.
Of hunger.
My name is Mallikarjun Hanamnor. My name is Megha. I want to become nurse, engineer, doctor. I want to become teacher,
Soldier.
lawyer. I want to become police.
ಅಕ್ಷಯ ಪಾತ್ರೆಯ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಊಟ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ನಂಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಇಷ್ಟ, ಮತ್ತು ತುಂಬ ಪೌಷ್ಟಿಕಾಂಶವನ್ನು ನೀವು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ತರಕಾರಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಷ್ಟು ತರಕಾರಿ ಕಾಳುಗಳೆಲ್ಲ.
Feeding a hungry child and seeing that the child gets educated is not charity. It's the social responsibility of everyone who is doing well in this world.
All right, guys. Now you guys have a full understanding of what Akshaya Patra is. And we wanted to start the pledge drive. But did you?
You know, Omi, you have that thing that you do. Could you do that one thing?
Yeah. You know, Emily just wanted me to say a couple of words in my own style. And, you know, Emily's favorite language is Hindi, you know, a language neither of us understand. So she just wanted me to say a couple of words to compel you guys to give. So I'm just going to, do you guys want to hear a couple words in Hindi? All right. Well, you know what? आज अगर हमारे इंडियन बच्चे आसमान की बुलंदियों को छू रहा है तो उसका श्रेय सिर्फ एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को जाता है मालूम है कौन सा That's right, Akshaya Patra. पिछले कितने साल, how many years have you guys been doing this?
15.
Oh, wow. 15 साल से इन्होंने निरंतर इंडिया में चमत्कार पे चमत्कार किए हैं. Yeah. और उम्मीद है आगे भी करते रहेंगे. हमें तो आश्चर्य होता है कि एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन अपने जीवन काल में इतने चमत्कार कैसे कर सकता है. और आपके पास वो चीज़ है जिसके इस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को सख्त ज़रूरत है. धन. धन होता सभी के पास, सब छुपा के रखते हैं, देता कोई नहीं. Especially you Gujus, I know you guys. आपने अपना धन इस चमत्कारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के हाथ में देना ही पड़ेगा. और देखेंगे, देख. You saw the videos, ये कैसा इसका उपयोग करता है. All right, guys? So I just want to implore you guys to start giving, start pulling out your pens and take a look at those programs there. And I wanted to call up Mickey Straub. He's the mayor of Burridge, nicknamed Mayor Mickey. He is a husband, parent, speaker, and is the author of the newly released Big Goals, Short Deadlines, an inspirational book about his trip through 50 capitals in 50 days. Come on up.
Thank you, Omi. Thank you, Omi. Well, first off, may I ask everybody to stand up? Stand up for a minute. Stretch your legs a little bit. You've been sitting down a long, long time. Now I know. See, it's pretty effective, though, isn't it? You know, they'll starve you until you give money. I know. It's coming right now, because what a great cause this is. Hey, you sit down now. It's an honor and a pleasure to follow two distinguished gentlemen like Gopi and Omi. But I say we have something in common. I'm the chief evangelist of my town as mayor of Burridge. And also, to be a good mayor, I have to be a pretty good actor. So I do share that with these two gentlemen, and it's an honor to be share the stage too with Emily and Manisha Gandhi, who I originally met. This is how I first learned about Akshaya Patra, where I was, as mayor, I get invited to a lot of cool stuff. And a friend of mine named Prashant Sheth invited me over to a house in Burridge, the house of Drs. Renu and Harish Bhatt. Notice how I put the woman first in that little order? Okay, sorry Harish, but we went over to their house to find out and learn and hear the story about Akshaya Patra. And I was so moved by Manisha's explanation of how many, 30% of the world's population, malnourished children is in India. I was so moved by the fact that some of her numbers of 1.5 million plates of food a day are served. Now that's why I have this plate in my hand. We did the math. If you set up this plate one after another from Burridge all the way to Milwaukee, that'll only be 1/3 of the number of plates that are served every day in India. And that means it's a round trip and back to Milwaukee. That's how many plates of food they serve every day to children in India. Give them a round of applause, please. And on top of that, was it 2 billion? Just hit 2 billion?
Yes.
That's equivalent to about 126 round trips from coast to coast in the United States. 2 billion plates of food. I'm so moved by this effort. It's an honor and a pleasure to share the stage here today, and I hope you will think about it and donate and support the organization. And it's only fitting that it be the day before Mother's Day, because mothers nourish the world. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Mickey. Thank you very much. So guys, the reason that we're all here is the most important part of tonight is right now. This is where you open up those checkbooks, you pick up those pens, and you make a commitment, you know? This is why Mayor Mickey's here, I'm here, we're all here to support this wonderful organization. We have volunteers coming around to pick up the checks, young youth ambassadors of Akshaya Patra, the future of Akshaya Patra, coming around to pick up your checks.
There are pledge cards on your table. The volunteers will be walking around. Remember, every dollar goes to a wonderful cause, $15 to feed one child for 1 whole year. 3 Starbucks. Give up your 3 Starbucks and more. So start having that. And I just wanted to, while you are looking at the pledge cards, a couple of groups that have really come a long way. I spoke at Deepak Kapadia's house. So the Friends of Oakbrook, here's a competition for you. The Friends of Oakbrook have raised $15,000, 1,000 children for 1 year. Give it up, come on.
And guys, I know you're starting to write and you're figuring out what you're gonna write. It's got to be a little bit uncomfortable. To that much you need to give. Just a little bit uncomfortable, more than you think you can give. That much you should give. All right. And when you give, you'll be proud. You can tell other people, you know, I gave to Akshaya Patra, and spread the message. You know. And then next year, when we come back here next year, there'll be double the people here. You know, that's how we raise money for this wonderful cause. You know.
So I want to thank our sponsors, gold sponsors, and one person in particular who actually made this gala happen for me, and the Chicago team. Mafat Bhai Patel is here, Patel Brothers. Big thank you to you. He introduced me to the whole town, literally. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Your genuineness and your sincerity to the cause and to helping us feed more children. Sharif Bhai, right there. Vinacom, Chotalal Bhai, and Midwest Molding. We have so many sponsors, but our gold sponsors, silver, bronze, are in your program book, and they are just have been so generous. Midstar, all the companies that are represented here today. But like I said, the challenge that I put before you today is like Friends of Oakbrook. Few people got together, made a goal that they wanted to feed X number of kids in India. They had a goal for 1,000 children. And with their efforts, they raised $15,000. They've taken 5 schools in Ahmedabad, which is going to be fed by Friends of Oakbrook. So, yes, thank you, Deepak Bhai, and your team. And so, do it as maybe a geographical suburb or location. Naperville, Burridge. Where's Mickey? There's a competition for you and a challenge for your neighborhood. The pledge drive is the most important part of the evening. You're here to support this cause, support these children.
I always love challenging Omi's skills and reading names.
Oh, great. I'll read some names. Again, if you finish your pledge card, please raise it above your hand, and the volunteers will come and pick it up. Okay, let's read some silver sponsors here. Dr. Romi Chopra, Alok Gaur, Dr. Sunil Kumar, Dr. Himanshu and Mrugakshi Patel, Mafat and Swatel Patel, Samir and Sanjay Patel, Saroj and Vipin Patel, Dr. Umang Patel, basically all Patels, it says. Dr. Mohan Swani, Ketu Amin, Chotalal Patel, Deepak Kapadia, Neil and Raj Patel, Medstar, Iftekar Sharif, FIA. All right. Then we have bronze sponsors. Everybody smile. All right. Bronze sponsors Moti Agarwal, Millennium Bank, Dr. Bharat Bharai, Harish and Renuka Bhatt, China Chandra. Yeah, clap for them. Kishore, Chug, Stephanie.
Where's Dr. Chug? I know
Dr.
he's
Chug.
supposed to be here.
Stephanie
Dr.
Denby.
Chug in the house?
Barnes, Stephanie Denby and Barnes and Thornburg LLP, Ram, Prashantha and Trinuk, Kirti and Raksa Shah, Illa and Harish Vyas.
We'll give him some lessons on Indian names.
I have a hard time.
So now your food is going to be served as well, but we have a couple of live auction items as well.
Yes, so I heard that there's a live auction going on. This is pretty exciting. So if you can, you know how Indian people love deals.
I need some bids.
There's some great deals going on that I've heard. What's our first live auction? So the way to bid on this live auction, you just raise your hand and you can basically, we'll take it to whoever raises their hand and wins at the end. So what's our first item?
Yeah, do pay attention, folks. Our first item is Google with Gopi.
So Gopi, our keynote speaker, he works for Google. What exactly is this?
So Google with Gopi package includes our own Gopi Kalayal giving you a tour of the Google complex, lunch at the famous Google Cafe, and photo opportunities throughout the campus. And what else, Gopi?
And a job at Google, maybe? Maybe, if you're lucky. Wow, that sounds like a great deal to get access to this wonderful man, all of his, the intellects and all of the knowledge that he has, as well as access to Google. I'd pay at least $4,000 for that. That sounds great. Is that what the starting bid is?
You know what? We can start at $1,500, and also
$1,500. Wow,
he's
what
going
a
to give
deal!
you a book with his autograph as well. So
$1,500. So let's hear our first bid. Oh, look at this man. He just
all right,
he wants it. He wants it. $1,500.
Come on, $1,500.
Anyone? Let's go to $1,750. $1,750. Anyone? This man is going to get a job at Google. I'm telling you. It's going to get.
Come on, $1,600, $1,750.
Anyone? All right, it's going to go for $1,500.
You have to go going once, going twice.
Oh.
All right. How much?
$1,750? $2,000.
Woo, $2,000.
He wants to close it off. He wants to close it off. He's $2,000.
Google with Gopi. You get a day with Gopi with so much to learn. He's a yoga teacher at Google. He's written a book, and there's just so much to gain from spending time with him.
You may even see some projects that haven't been, published. It might be a great opportunity. So we're at 2,000. Anyone? 2,250? Do I hear 2,250?
2,250.
All right. Oh, 2,250 right here. 2,250. Raise your hand again, sir. 2,250.
MedStar.
All right. All right. 2,250. Do we have 2,500? 2,500.
2,500. That's right.
2,750. 2,750.
Google with Gopi.
I know you want to, sir. 250 more. Is that all right?
All right.
2,750.
2,500.
2,750. We're up to 3,000. Two people.
There's no airfare. You can take your whole family.
You could close it out by just 4. If you say 4, he's not going to go for it. 3. That's a smart man there.
3,000. Google
3,000.
Gopi. Come on.
3,000. 3,000. We're going to 3,250. 3,000 going once. 3,250. All right.
No,
you know
no,
what?
Both. You both win. 3,000 each. Come on.
We're going to sell both of them. 3,000 each.
2 packages for 3,000 each.
We don't want to create a rift here. So 3,000 each. You both get to go and hang out with Gopi, sir. Sorry, we just sold
Gopi,
you twice.
thank you.
We just sold you twice.
Come on, people. $6,000. Google with Gopi.
That's really nice. That's awesome, guys.
Gopi. That's very
So
generous.
let us let's talk about the second item. I heard there's a second item.
Yes, there is a second item donated by Raj Jewels. Dipen Bhai is here. Give it up for Dipen Bhai. Dipen Bhai, where are you?
Dipen Bhai.
Stand up.
What is this item?
This item is a pendant. It's an Om pendant with diamonds.
Mother's Day is tomorrow.
That's right,
interesting.
Mother's Day.
I know some of you have forgotten to get a gift for your wife or mother You know, so this may be a wonderful little last item gift that you could get for them.
So the pendant is in white gold, 18 karat. It has 0.15 carats of diamonds, 16 little diamonds into the ohm, and we can start the bid at $500.
Oh, this is worth at least $1,000. $500 is a steal. $500. $600.
Right. If the car buy is 600.
He wants to win something today.
Yes.
$600. Do we have 700?
700 for the ohm pendant for Mother's Day.
This is 22 karat. Indians love 22 karat.
It's 18 karat.
Oh, it's 18 karat. It's almost 22 karat. 18 karat. Come on, guys. 18 karat. We're going for 600. This is at least worth retail $1,200. All right? 600 going once.
Come on. 600.
Going twice.
700.
Sold over there. Just 6 for 600. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. You're helping feed many, many children.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody.
So I wanted to just acknowledge some very special people in the audience and then bring two of them up to do the thanks at the end. And one is Mr. Rushi Shah, who, raise your hand, Rushi, who founded the DePaul Food for Education chapter at DePaul University. It's our longest running university chapter, and he deserves a huge round of applause. And this university chapter goes year after year after year, fundraising for Akshaya Patra and spreading awareness. Rushi, where are you?
He's in the back.
Okay.
He's right there. Right there.
Okay. And maybe Omi had a question for Rushi about DePaul Food for Education.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about it.
So we started DePaul Food for Education 5 years ago. I got introduced about Akshaya Patra by Saroj Aunty's nephew, Rishi, who's also one of my good friends that we grew up together. Once we found out that Saroj Aunty actually wanted to open up a chapter at our school, we wanted to make that happen right away. I think we're both so passionate about it because the picture of students helping children is probably, I think, the most motivating thing out there. I know all you adults, do that all the time, but students that are in school trying to get a degree, trying to get a job, and still put the time into helping raise money and awareness for children in India, it's highly motivating. So our goal was to have the chapter be there for 10 years. And so far, DePaul chapter has been strong for 5 years by itself. And they've raised close to $40,000 in the past 5 years.
Thank you. Now we have a youth ambassador named Shreya Kapoor. She's in 9th grade, and she has been raising funds for Akshaya Patra, and she's our youth ambassador for the Chicago chapter. And here she is, and she raised some funds at the Holy event. Go, Shreya.
Good evening, everyone. As a teenager living in the United States, I've grown up with role models and visions of my future. Whether it be becoming an author, a scientist, or a teacher, they're all professions that require hard work, passion, and determination. I realized what these qualities really mean last year when I visited the Akshaya Patra kitchen in India at Hubli. It was unbelievable to witness food being prepared and transported to thousands of school kids every day. Let me tell you, it is not pretty to see me in the morning, but it was totally worth it to get up at 4:30 a.m. to get the incredible opportunity to visit the kitchen. And the fact that people wake up that early every day to prepare food for children was extremely motivating and inspiring for me. Throughout our whole lives, we are taught to persevere and strive to achieve our goals and make our dreams a reality. But why stop there? Why not help others realize their dreams and help them reach for the stars? For students like me, Akshaya Patra Youth Ambassador Program is a great way to contribute to the global effort. The Ambassador Program can provide resources for youth to build leadership skills and make their ideas a reality. If you can think it, the Ambassador Program can help make it happen. For example, you can organize events like talent shows and fun soccer tournaments to spread the word and raise money. The program is only limited to your imagination. As a youth ambassador, I want to help other people have an opportunity to be able to dream and live the life that they deserve. Change starts with each and every one of us, and old or young, we must work to see that change. Thank you and have a great evening.
Give it up for Shreya. Come on, ninth grader who's been raising funds and her passion for Akshaya Patra.
And now we want to bring up our very special leaders, Saroj Patel and Himanshu Patel, to give the vote of thanks.
Speakers. And 80% of the people are good Jews, many of them Patels like me. So I'm going to indulge. ગુજ્જુ ભાઈ આપણે બધાએ બહુ સારું કામ કર્યું છે આજે. Let's give it a big hand to all the Gujjus in the crowd. I fully appreciate all the non-Gujaratis here, and I hope that all the non-Gujaratis will be inspired to bring more of your friends and family next time. I'm hoping to have at least 800 people next time. We had a tremendously successful fundraising dinner today, and there are many, many people who make this event possible. They work behind the scene. They help with the logistics. They have been working hard to recruit new supporters, not only for this event. Many of them work very hard for the Gujarati play that we sponsored last year. At that time, we raised $70,000. So I'm going to take a few minutes to thank all the volunteers who have been helping us, not just for this event, but for last couple of years. Fortunately, we have a long list of volunteers, so please bear with me. With me, I have Saroj. I already heard about it. Saroj has been really one of the most consistent supporters, donors for Akshaya Patra for the last several years. Cheena Chandra, Dr. Romi Chopra, Sudha Gujnani, Rita Kakodkar, Lakshmi Kapoor, Ketki Parikh, Dhruv Patel, Harnish Patel. Mafat Bhai not only has been very generous with donations, but as you heard, he brought a lot of new donor supporters to the organization. Thank you, Mafat Bhai. Mahindra Patel, Mita Patel, Pallavi Shah, Rushi Shah, Ila Vyas, Vandana Valia. You already heard about the students from the DePaul, Vivek Thakkar, Krishna Patel, Sunny Patel, Sagar Patel, and Zama Shah. We also have a bunch of media partners. We have with us WBEZ, NPR radio in Chicago. We have one of the producers, Steve Bynum, with us here today. Other media partners cover really the full spectrum, I think, of Indian media, Asian Media USA, Deshi Junction, Desi Talk. We have with us Bailal Patel, the Executive VP for the group, whose publications include Deshi Talk. Bailal Bhai has been a community leader for a long time and also a long-time supporter of Akshaya Patra. Other media partners include Gujarati Times, Hi India, the Indian American, India Bulletin, Jatinder Bailey, India Tribune, Radio Spicebox, Sandesh, and TV Asia. Special thanks to Maya Patel from Holiday Inn in Rolling Meadows. They provided complimentary accommodations for our artists this evening. And of course, thanks to Madan Kulkarni for allowing us to host this at the Meadows Club here today.
You said everything.
Oh, I don't know what you want to say.
Hi, I'm Saroj Patel, and I think Himanshu Bhai covered everything. You are a great audience tonight, and I like to give you, I hope every year you would come and support Akshaya Patra. This is a very good cause, feeding 1.5 million children. Come on, and we want to do better, 5 million. So hopefully we'll see you again next year. We are planning another one event in November, entertainment, and I know everybody will be there supporting us. So thank you so much for coming out.
Enjoy your dinner. I want to get back to my dinner. I am starving. And then stay for the musical entertainment to follow.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Boj game che. Boj game che. So guys, yeah, again, as he said, enjoy dinner. Please stick around because we have a wonderful, we have all these instruments here because we're gonna have a performance later. Some awesome people coming outside. And then also, we're gonna tally up how many donations we got from all of you wonderful people. And we're gonna let you know how much we made here in Chicago. So I know Chicago is a strong community of South Asians. Let's see what we can raise. All right, guys? So enjoy dinner, and I will see you very soon.
सबसे खुशी की बात यह है कि आप सबने खाना खा लिया है। घंटा 2 घंटा और बैठ सकते हैं आप। ठीक है। आज की इस महफिल की पहली गज़ल मदर्स डे पर स्पेशली टू ऑल मदर्स। मैं चाहता हूं कि ये प्लीज़ ये जो शोर है वो कम कर दें एंड बी सीटेड। सेल्फी बाद में लेंगे फेसबुक के लिए। ये दौलत भी ले लो, ये शोहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी। ये दौलत भी ले लो, ये शोहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी। ये दौलत भी ले लो, शोहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी। मगर मुझको लौटा दो बचपन का सावन, वो कागज़ की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। कागज़ की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज़ की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। मोहल्ले की सबसे पुरानी निशानी, मोहल्ले की सबसे पुरानी निशानी, वो बुढ़िया जिसे बच्चे कहते थे नानी। वो नानी की बातों में परियों का फेरा, वो चेहरे की झुर्रियों में सदियों का डेरा। भुलाए नहीं भूल सकता है कोई, भुलाए नहीं भूल सकता
लगता है कोई, वो छोटी सी रातें, वो लंबी कहानी। कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। कड़ी धूप में अपने घर से निकलना, कड़ी धूप में अपने घर से निकलना। वो चिड़िया, वो बुलबुल, वो तितली पकड़ना, वो गुड़िया की शादी पे लड़ना झगड़ना, वो झूलों से गिरना, गिर के संभलना, वो पीतल के छल्लों के प्यारे से तोहफे, वो टूटी हुई चूड़ियों की निशानी। वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। कभी रेत के ऊंचे टीलों पे जाना, जाना 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 जाना। कभी रेत के ऊंचे टीलों पे जाना, घरों दे बनाना, बना के गिराना, वो मासूम चाहत की तस्वीर अपनी, वो ख्वाबों खिलौनों की जागीर अपनी। न दुनिया का डर था, न रिश्तों के बंधन, न दुनिया का डर था, न रिश्तों के बंधन। बड़ी खूबसूरत थी वो जिंदगानी। कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। ये दौलत भी ले लो, ये शोहरत भी ले लो, भले छीन लो मुझसे मेरी जवानी, मगर मुझको लौटा दो बचपन का सावन। वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। कागज की कश्ती, बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी, वो कागज की कश्ती, वो बारिश का पानी। तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। जिंदगी दूर देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। मैं जानता हूँ कि ये जो ऑडियंस है इसमें अच्छे अच्छे गाने वाले हैं और सभी गाना जानते हैं, तो लेट्स एंजॉय टुगेदर। मिलकर गाती हैं और इस शाम को और हंसी करते हैं। तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। आज फिर दिल ने एक तमन्ना की, आज फिर दिल ने एक तमन्ना की। आज फिर दिल को हमने समझाया, आज फिर दिल को हमने समझाया। जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। चले जाओगे तो सोचेंगे, तुम चले जाओगे तो सोचेंगे। हमने क्या खोया, हमने क्या पाया। जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। ऑडियंस में थोड़ी लाइट दे देना, नजर आए कोई फोन सुन रहा है। हम जिसे गुनगुना नहीं सकते, हम जिसे गुनगुना नहीं सकते। वक्त ने ऐसा गीत क्यों गाया। Excuse me, guys. मैंने बहुत तारीफ सुनी है शिकागो की। मैं वैसे आता नहीं हूँ ऐसे गाने के लिए जहाँ कोई सुने ना। हम जिसे गुनगुना नहीं सकते। कौन सा गाना है जो शादी के बाद गाना मना है, जिनको आप गुनगुना नहीं सकते? ये नयन डरे डरे, ये जाम भरे भरे, मुझे कल की किससे खबर, एक रात होके निडर मुझे पीने दो, ये नयन डरे डरे वक्त ने ऐसा गीत क्यों गाया। जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। हम जिसे गुनगुना नहीं सकते, वक्त ने ऐसा गीत क्यों गाया। जिंदगी धूप तुम घना साया, तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया। वक्त ने ऐसा गीत क्यों गाया। तुमको देखा तो ये ख्याल आया।
Sir, hello from everybody from the audience. Can you please be quiet and sit down? These people are playing a music. Please respect them and listen to them. Hello, everybody from the audience. Please sit down and listen to that. Thank you.
Thank you. चांद में तो दाग है, पर आप में वो भी नहीं। 14वीं के चांद से बढ़ के है चेहरा आपका। तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। तेरे आगे चांद पुराना लगता है। तेरे आगे चांद पुराना लगता है। तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। तिरछे तिरछे तीर नजर के चलते हैं। तिरछे तिरछे तीर नजर के चलते हैं। सीधा सीधा दिल पे निशाना लगता है। तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है तेरे आगे चांद पुराना लगता है तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। आग का क्या है पल दो पल में लगती है। मैं एक फाइनल रिक्वेस्ट करता हूं कि जो एमसी हैं हमारे यहाँ के, अगर आप इनको कंट्रोल नहीं कर सकते तो बाहर ले जाएं इनको, आप प्लीज़ इनको बाहर ले जाए ना। देन यू टॉक बैक, या मुझे बंद करवा दें या आप बातें कर लें वहाँ पे। इट डजंट लुक नाइस, इट डज नॉट लुक नाइस। यू आर आर्टिस्ट योरसेल्फ, you can go outside and take picture whatever you want to. आग का क्या है पल दो पल में लगती है। ये कौन सी आग है जो घरों को नहीं दिलों को जला देती है। आग का क्या है पल दो पल में लगती है। बुझते बुझते एक जमाना लगता है तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। तेरे आगे चांद पुराना लगता है तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। आग का क्या है पल दो पल में लगती है। आग का क्या है पल दो पल में लगती है। बुझते बुझते एक जमाना लगता है तेरा चेहरा कितना सुहाना लगता है। तेरे आगे चांद पुराना लगता है तेरा चेहरा कितना पुराना लगता है। तेरे आगे चांद पुराना लगता है। कि सरकती जाए है रुख से नकाब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। मैं तो चाहूँगा ये जितने भी सुनने वाले हैं अपनी चेयर्स सामने ले आएं, महफिल का और भी मज़ा बनेगा। क्योंकि मैं जितनी दूर से आप लोग जितनी दूर से आए हो उतने दूर जाके बैठ गए हो। मज़ारे कैस पर जब रूह लैला एक दिन आई मज़ारे कैस पर, मज़ारे कैस मजनू की कब्र। मज़ारे कैस पर जब रूह लैला एक दिन आई तो अरमानों के मुरझाए हुए कुछ फूल भी लाई। लगी जब फूल रखने कब्र से आवाज ये आई। लगी जब फूल रखने कब्र से आवाज ये आई। चढ़ाना फूल जाने मन मगर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। सरकती जाए है रुख से नक़द आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। निकलता आ रहा है आफ़ताब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। जवां होने लगे जब वो तो हमसे कर लिया पर्दा। जवां होने लगे जब वो तो हमसे कर लिया पर्दा। हया हया यकलख्त आई और शबा आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। सरकती जाए है रुख से नक़द आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। शब फुरकत का जागा हूँ फरिश्तों अब तो सोने दो। शब फुरकत का जागा हूँ फरिश्तों अब तो सोने दो। कभी फुर्सत में कर लेना हिसाब आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। सरकती जाए है रुख से नक़द आहिस्ता आहिस्ता। हमारे और तुम्हारे प्यार में बस फर्क है इतना इतना फर्क है इतना। हमारे और तुम्हारे प्यार में बस फर्क है इतना। इधर तो जल्दी जल्दी है उधर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, इधर तो जल्दी जल्दी है, उधर आहिस्ता आहिस्ता निकलता आ रहा है आफ्ताब, आहिस्ता 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 सरकती जाए है रुख से नफर, आहिस्ता 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 आहिस्ता। थैंक यू सो मच। होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। गीत अमर तभी होगा जब होठों से छुआ जाएगा। तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि सिर्फ मैं नहीं, आप सभी गाओ जिनको आता है। और मुझे मालूम है ये किसका फेवरेट है। आई कैन फील फ्रॉम सो फार। होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। बन जाओ मीत मेरे, मेरी प्रीत अमर कर दो। होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। मैं बिफोर एवरीबॉडी लीव्स I just want to thank you, Biju, for wonderful sound. I give a big hand. He has a very strong, wonderful, he knows what artist wants. तो मैं चाहता हूँ कि आप सब इतनी ज़ोर सा गाएं मेरे साथ ये वाली गज़ल कि बिजू भाई जो हैं वो भी चक्कर में पड़ जाए what happened here. So everybody, one. होठों से छू लो मेरा गीत। खाना खाया भी आपने सबने, खाना तो मैंने नहीं खाया। देखो मेरी आवाज कितनी ऊंची आ रही है सबसे ज्यादा। होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर, बन जाओ मेरी प्रीत अमर कर दो। एवरीबॉडी होठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। ना उम्र की सीमा हो, ना जन्म का हो बंधन, ना उम्र की सीमा हो, ना जन्म का हो बंधन। जब प्यार करे कोई तो देखे केवल मन, नई रीत चला कर तुम ये रीत अमर कर दो। होठों से छू लो तुम
मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। आकाश का सूनापन मेरे तन्हा मन में, आकाश का सूनापन मेरे तन्हा मन में, पायल छनकाती तुम आ जाओ जीवन में। सूनापन, एक सूनापन जंगल में और एक सूनी गोद माँ की। पंजाबी फोक सॉन्ग है। मिट्टी दा बावा मैं बनानिया, मिट्टी दा बाबा मैं बनानिया वे जगा पानिया वे उत्ते देनिया खेसी नारो मिट्टी दिया बावे आवे तेरा प्यो परदेसी। मिट्टी दा बाबा नहीं हो बोलदा, मिट्टी दा बाबा नहीं हो बोलदा वे नहीं हो चलदा वे नहीं हो देंदा ए होंगारा नारो मिट्टी दिया बावे आवे तेरा प्यो बन जारा। तेरे जइया लख गोरियां वे कन्नी डोरियां वे गोदी बाल ही डोले हस हस देंदियां लोरियां वे मेरे लड़न सपोले। आकाश का सूनापन मेरे तन्हा मन में, पायल छनकाती तुम आ जाओ जीवन में। सांसें देकर अपनी संगीत अमर कर दो, होंठों से छू लो तुम मेरा गीत अमर कर दो। बन जाओ मीत मेरे मेरी प्रीत अमर कर दो। तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो। तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो। आँखों में नमी हंसी लबों पर, आँखों में नमी हंसी लबों पर, क्या हाल है क्या दिखा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो। तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो।
जाएंगे जहर पीते पीते, बन जाएंगे जहर पीते पीते, ये अश्क जो पीते जा रहे हो। ये अश्क जो पीते जा रहे हो, क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो। रेखाओं का खेल है मुकद्दर, रेखाओं का खेल है मुकद्दर, रेखाओं का खेल है मुकद्दर, रेखाओं से मात खा रहे हो। रेखाओं से मात खा रहे हो। बात रेखाओं की है। रेखा, चाहे वो हिंद पाक की रेखा हो, चाहे वो अमिताभ की रेखा हो, चाहे आपके हाथों की लगी रेखा हो, रेखाओं का खेल है मुकद्दर, रेखाओं से मात खा रहे हो। एक बहुत ही अच्छा मुझे शेर याद आ रहा है। रेखाओं का खेल है मुकद्दर, रेखाओं से मात खा रहे हो। हिना के वास्ते सखियां, हिना के वास्ते सखियां, जब उसकी हथेली को खोलेगी तो पहली बार ये सच्ची लकीरें झूठ बोलेंगी। रेखाओं का खेल है मुकद्दर, रेखाओं से मात खा रहे हो। क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो। क्या गम है जिसको छुपा रहे हो, तुम इतना जो मुस्कुरा रहे हो। ला 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 होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। मैंने देखा है कि कोई भी पार्टी हो, चाहे वो 400 की हो, 500 की हो, जो सुनने वाले आखिर में वो बच ही जाते हैं। थैंक यू सो मच। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए, इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए, जिंदगी क्या चीज है। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। उनसे नजरें क्या मिले, रोशन फिजाएं हो गई। ला 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 ला। उनसे नजरें क्या मिली, रोशन फिजाएं हो गई। आज जाना प्यार की, आज जाना प्यार की जादूगरी क्या चीज है। इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए जिंदगी क्या चीज है। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। जुल्फों ने सिखाई मौसमों को शायरी, झुकती आँखों ने सिखाया मैं कशी क्या चीज है। इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए जिंदगी क्या चीज है। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। काबिल गुल शेर है। हम लबों से कह न पाए उनसे हाले दिल कभी, हम लबों से कह न पाए उनसे हाले दिल कभी। वो मिले भी तो हम लबों से कह न पाए उनसे हाले दिल कभी। वो मिले भी तो कुछ झिझक सी हुई, काश थोड़ी सी हम पिए होते। हम लबों से कह न पाए उनसे हाले दिल कभी। और वो समझे नहीं है क्या चीज है। और वो समझे नहीं है खामोशी क्या चीज है। इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए, इश्क कीजिए फिर समझिए जिंदगी क्या चीज है। होश वालों को खबर क्या, बेखुदी क्या चीज है। बेखुदी क्या चीज है। आशिकी क्या चीज है। उठाई दिन न जवानी नड़ चलदी, उठाई दिन न जवानी नड़ चलदी। कुड़दी मल मल दी, उठाई दिन न जवानी नड़ चलदी उड़ती मल मल दे Everybody please enjoy now. तेरे कोलों तुरना सिख पंज दरिया दे पानी तेरे कोलों तुरना सिख पंज दरिया दे पानी या तू कोई हिरस लेके या तू फूला रानी ओ याद कोई हिरस लेके या तू फूला रानी उन्नी तू कुड़ियां दे उन्नी तू कुड़ियां दे विच नहीं डलदी उड़दी मल मल दे ढाई दिन न जवानी नाल चलदी उड़दी मल मल दे अथरी तेरी जवानी कुड़िए तेरे बस ना रहिंदी अथरी तेरी जवानी कुड़िए तेरे बस ना रहिंदी साडे दिल नूं लाउं बुलावे तेरे हथां दी मेहंदी फेसबुक स्माइल साडे दिल नूं लाउं बुलावे तेरे हथां दी मेहंदी ओ जुत्ती खलदी ओ जुत्ती खलदी मरोड़ा नहीं चलदी ओ जुत्ती खलदी मरोड़ा नहीं चलदी उड़दी उड़दी मल मल दे ओ ढाई दिन न जवानी नाल चलदी उड़दी मल मल दे पतली तेरी पतली कुड़ती तेरी चौंदी रूप चातियां मारे पतली कुड़ती तेरी चौंदी रूप चातियां मारे अंग अंग तेरा हसदा रहंदा लूडू करे इशारे ओ अंग अंग तेरा हसदा रहंदा लूडू करे इशारे ओने तू सुल्फे दी लाट वांगू बलदी ओने तू सुल्फे दी लाट वांगू बलदी कुड़दी ओ ढाई दिन न जवानी नाल चलदी ओ ढाई दिन न जवानी नाल चलदी कुड़दी मल मल दे ओ ढाई दिन न जवानी नाल चलदी कुड़दी मल मल दे Everybody please enjoy now. तेरे कोलों तुरना सिख पंज दरिया दे पानी तेरे कोलों तुरना सिख पंज दरिया दे पानी या तू कोई हिरस लेके या तू फूला रानी ओ याद कोई हिरस लेके या तू फूला रानी उन्नी तू कुड़ियां दे विच नहीं डलदी उड़दी मल मल दे ढाई दिन न जवानी नाल चलदी उड़दी मल मल दे अथरी तेरी जवानी कुड़िए तेरे बस ना रहिंदी अथरी तेरी जवानी कुड़िए तेरे बस ना रही साटे दिल नू लाओ बुलावे तेरे हथां दी मेहंदी फेसबुक स्माइल साटे दिल नू लाओ बुलावे तेरे हथां दी मेहंदी ओ जुत्ती खलदी ओ जुत्ती खलदी मरोड़ा नहीं ओ चलदी ओ जुत्ती खलदी मरोड़ा नहीं ओ चलदी उड़ती उड़ती मल मल दी ओ ढाई दिन न जवानी नड़ चलदी उड़ती मल मल दी पतली तेरी पतली कुड़ती तेरी चौंदी रूप चातियां मारे पतली कुड़ती तेरी चौंदी रूप चातियां मारे अंग अंग तेरा हसदा रहंदा लूलू करे इशारे ओ अंग अंग तेरा हसदा रहंदा लूलू करे इशारे ओ नित सुल्फे दी लाट वांगू बलदी ओ नित सुल्फे दी लाट वांगू बलदी कुड़ती मल मल दी उठाई दिन न जवानी नड़ चलदी कुड़ती मल मल दी ओ कुड़ती मल मल दी ओ मल मल दी ओ कुड़ती मल मल दी ओ कुड़ती